Simple things like you guys going out to eat meat, which is a gesture of closeness. Going out to eat with a Korean man, especially like drinking or eating beef, is a gesture of wanting to get closer, a gesture of wanting to hang out, and him checking out the vibes before he asks you to be his girlfriend, or before she asks you to be his boyfriend. And somebody like me, like an American, going out to eat with somebody really doesn't mean that much. It just means that we're friends, or it's a guy I met and he wants to go out to eat, and I'm okay with that. And in China, it's the hot pot. Going out to eat a hot pot with somebody is like, I'm super interested into you, and I want you to be my girlfriend, I want you to be my boyfriend, but I want to check out the vibes first before I commit to giving you this title. And a lot of Korean women and a lot of Chinese women, just all the Asian women, get jealous, especially in China, when their boyfriend holds hands with another lady in a really simple way. Like, they literally could be in the middle of a business deal and they could shake hands to like confirm that this is the end of the deal, and they get so angry about it. They literally could be part of the role to where they have to hold hands, and they get so angry about it. That is straight up acting and still get angry about holding hands. It can literally be like super hot outside, and they get so upset and jealous and angry if they give another girl or a guy a water bottle. A bitch literally could drop her purse, and they get so angry and jealous if you literally help that person pick up their purse. Dead ass. And if they think that another person has more than you or is smarter than you, and they think that they can have more success financially and look more like aesthetically better for their image, they will go for that person. They will go for that person. 9 out of 10 times. Because in Korean culture, but mostly in Chinese culture, couples are constantly holding hands, wearing matching couple clothes, always posting on their social media about them being a couple. It's a given. It's normal. So when people be like, oh, he's Korean, but he's just so private, or he's Japanese, but he's just so private, or he's Chinese, but he's just no. It's because he's hiding you. He really doesn't care about you. That is not how it works in that culture. He's hiding you. She's hiding you. Facts. That is. Next, let's talk about Asian men and women, like I told you, are fickle. So once they get bored with you, they have no concern about dropping you. They have no reservation about dropping you. If it's not panning out the way that they want it to, they have no reservation and no concern about dropping you. Here's how you can find a Asian fuckboy, because they present themselves different than an American fuckboy. Places you can find an Asian fuckboy is the 24/7 gas stations that sell makgeolli, sake, or soju. And they're there probably to get some more bottles, to eat some ramen. And these are the phrases that they commonly use to let you know that they're a fuckboy or a fuckgirl. Okay. The first one is, do you want to eat ramen? Do you want to eat ramen is literally a phrase. It's an alias to mean, do you want to fuck? That's what that means. It literally means, do you want to fuck? So if a nigga says you want to go eat ramen, or we can eat ramen at my house, that literally means, do you want to fuck? Do you live alone? Literally means, hey, do you have anybody else that lives with you in your house? Because I'm trying to go back to the place to smash. I'm trying to fuck. Oh, I like foreign girls over Asian girls. That means that they're perverted, and they like that some girls who are like American or stuff like that does not see their pervertedness as disgusting, and instead it sees it as them being sexually liberated. And I think sexual liberation is important for everybody. I do. But now that they're trying to like take their disgusting fuckboy behavior overseas, knowing that women there are gonna feel a little less deterred by it. Okay. Another one is, hey, do you speak Chinese? Do you speak Korean? Because they want to gauge that if they said something to someone, like a family member or to you or something like that, if you will be able to understand what they're saying. And then another one is, oh, I have something at my house that I would like to show you. You can come over and I'll show it to you. It just means they want to smash. It just means they want to smash. You would also find, Chinese fuckboys on language learning apps, because those are less regulated and monitored by the control of demonic powers of their parents. And then they say things like this, kind of like coded, so then that way, if you do come towards them with some type of like, what the fuck you think you're doing, you're a shitty person, they can tell you that, they never meant it that way, and gaslight you. And Asian fuck girls and Asian fuck boys are more of an emotional fuck boy and an emotional fuck girl. So they dead ass want a whole situationship with you. They dead ass want a whole situationship with you. A whole situationship with you, which makes no damn sense. This shit was not a thing when I was a teenager. You were not a situationship. There was no situationship. You guys were going on dates. You guys were talking to each other. You guys were flirting, and you guys were fucking. You were in a relationship. It wasn't no talking stage. The talking stage really was just you guys talking. physically talking. You literally were only talking. The dating stage is when you were going on dates, you were flirting, and you were having sex. And then the committed stage was literally all of this, but now you guys are exclusively doing it with only one another. But now this whole situationships and a whole bunch of bullshit. And let me tell you this. Asian men take that I'm no simp shit to heart. To heart. Which is fucking stupid. Showing love and respect, adoration for the person you're in a relationship with is the bare minimum. And it's common decency. Okay, something else. Clubs in Korea and in Japan and in China, but mostly in Korea, are places where you go to get smashed. Pretty much. And if you're someone who is a avid party goer, even if you go to Korea, the Korean women or men are thinking that you're doing this because you want to break up. They're not thinking you want to go to the club because you want to have a good time. Because here in America, women go to the club to dance, to have fun. And yeah, maybe she might meet a guy she wants to sleep with. But you really just go to the club because you want to dance, you want to have fun, you want to be out, you want to party, you want to live it up. But in Korea, to go to the club means you're trying to fuck. And if you're going to the club while you have a boyfriend and girlfriend, they're thinking in their head that you want to break up. Even though you might just want to go out to have fun. They wholeheartedly believe that you should stop your activities of going to the club, going out to eat with friends, and all this other shit, mingling and shit, now that you have them in your life. Okay. Another thing. When a Chinese man wants to marry a woman, it is part of their culture for this man to give a dowry to the family. And that can backfire because a man really could be in love with another woman, but that woman does not have the money to pay a dowry to the family to get the family's approval. So they will not allow this man to marry her or to be with him, even though dead ass he's a whole ass human, a whole ass adult, and can literally date whoever the fuck he wants. But if you do a lot of ass kissing and you pay the dowry, they're going to be like pressuring their son or pressuring the daughter into having a committed relationship with that person who they don't even love. To literally get in a marriage with a whole nother person they don't even love just because it looks good on the family, just because they paid the dowry. And they wholeheartedly expect their children to do so. also, another thing is, I wouldn't take health advice from somebody who's like 100% full Chinese, they live in a rural area type of advice, because these motherfuckers be doing some shit that is specifically for them. Like, you know, eating sushi. Eating sushi, if you're like Japanese and you've been doing it for such a long time, doesn't affect them, because it's some type of like, I don't know how to explain it, like biotic or antibody or something like that, that's part of their gut, to make it to where they can do this and it won't have any adverse effect. Because eating too much sushi can actually have a negative effect on your body and on your blood, and you can get a condition from it, especially if it's not prepared properly. And then also, I was part of this group chat once upon a time ago, where this lady kept coming on. And she kept telling us to drink salt water. Do not drink salt water. Salt water is detrimental to your health. Do not drink salt water. Just because you are Chinese and you live in a rural area and it works for you does not mean you should give that advice to other people. Salt water is detrimental to your health. Do not drink it. But she kept coming on, talking in her damn Mandarin about drinking salt water. And finally, I was like, you better stop. Because you don't know who you're going to influence to do this. And they literally could be in a whole world of pain and trouble because they fucked up their shit because they kept listening to you drinking salt water. And plus they do things like eating hairy tofu and fermented beans that are slimy and disgusting. That's because, like I said, there's something in their gut that allows them to do so, because they've been doing it for such a long time, and they built up an immunity to it, and they built up I wouldn't say endurance, but resistance. They built up a resistance to it, to where it's not going to affect them the way it affects you, because you decided you wanted to do this because you saw them doing it. Don't. Please use your discernment and your due diligence when it comes to doing stuff like this. The only thing that I took from an Asian person health-wise is the fact that they drink only warm water to hot water, and I only drink warm water to hot water because, one, it does hydrate you better more than cold water. I know people don't want to believe the cold water. I don't know, people don't want to believe it. People don't want to believe that hot water actually hydrates you more better than cold water. I know people don't want to believe it. Woo. And also, it helps kill viruses. Period. And some people said that there's health benefits to drinking warm water and hot water. I only do it because of the health benefits it gives me. Okay, now let's talk about the K-pop community itself. Okay. These people wholeheartedly be coming to this country not knowing the dreams didn't work out or not. But then they get chosen, they become part of the company from some well, after signing some type of legal document and some type of legal jargon that's really hard to understand, that they don't understand, but then they sign it, thinking that they're going to get their dream, not knowing that they locking themselves in a 360, and they get your ass young too. They literally scout people super young, so that way you don't have your own mind, you wouldn't live life enough to understand that you're not being treated right. Then you get I wouldn't say smashed, but you get like shoved in some packed fucking damn dorm room with like 16 other people in like 2-bedroom apartments, and then they give you like a budget that you cannot spend over because it's very strict for you to do so. And if the dorm is too packed, you literally have to go somewhere else. They will not let you in. You gotta go sleep in a bathhouse. You gotta go to a train station and sleep in the bathroom. And then they're like reinforcing unhealthy diets and coping mechanisms, so that way you can do what they want. That is, will teach you how to become bulimic, will teach you how to be anorexic. What it is, teach you that materialism is how you're supposed to feel loved. And that if you're not being told nice words, it doesn't mean that you're not being loved. That if you're not being showered with affection, it doesn't mean that you're not being loved. But if I'm giving you gifts, that means that I love you. They're literally teaching you that the material gain that you get is how you're supposed to be loved. So that way they don't have to treat you like a human. And if you are like a foreigner and you come there and they want you to learn Korean, they'll give you a workbook and they'll tell you to learn the words in the workbook, but then it also take it a step further. Well, they'll refuse you eating, or they'll refuse you coming into the house, even refuse you from going to the bathroom, unless you are able to accurately call back to them the Korean that they said to you. Datas. The datas will refuse you of eating, or refuse you entry into the house, refuse you to go in the restroom if you can't list 10 Korean words with the right pronunciation and exactly what it means. And then they make you even more codependent on them by hiring people, which I think they call auntie. I think the Korean people who are the idols refer to them as aunties, to clean the house, to cook for them. And they make you codependent on that because they know if you're not able to do basic human shit by yourself, then you'll be more codependent on them. You don't know how to cook for yourself. You don't know how to clean up after yourself. And those are basic human things. And being locked in a 360, you're giving that person the rights. You're giving that person the rights legally to own you. They own your likeness, they own your image, they own you. So that means that they want you to change your hair to purple, you gotta change your hair to purple. And they want you to act like the cute one. You gotta act like the cute one. They want you to get surgery for your breast to be bigger. You gotta get surgery for your breast to be bigger. And if you wanted to, after being with these people and get out of the contract, you're gonna have to pay a very hefty fee, and there's more than a likely of a chance for you to get blacklisted. And because they own your likeness and your image, you literally can't post anything. You literally can't make anything. Because it goes against the contract. And the people don't be knowing that because they get locked in these 360s, not understanding what they had agreed to. Some people do understand what they get into, but they don't care because they want money. They want fame. But they end up getting treated so terribly that they have to leave. But now they gotta put their dream on the back burner and let it go completely because they sold their soul to the devil. And you can try to fight against them. And a lot of people have one. And there's a lot of new laws now that are in place for these K-pop idols that helping them get more human rights. Like how they can't work more hours, they can't work any more than 40 hours a week. It's literally the law now. It's literally the law now that there's a capped time. No more than 40 hours a week. There's literally a law now that if they're having physical and mental health issues, you have to provide them with that service. But they're gonna try to make you feel all types of shitty and gaslight you for wanting those services. And they're gonna drag their feet because they have a lot more money and time to do so. And they're gonna do the bare minimum. And then there's also the backlash you get from people who would spend a lot more time willingly to put you down and to try to ruin your life than them doing the introspection on themselves. There's literally people who dedicated on this world to be karmic and to kill, steal, and destroy. And once they got their locks on you, they got their locks on you. And you literally have to keep pushing through it. And trust me, I was really there. I'm really, really there. Really just want to give up and really just want to not deal with it no more. But they want to sell you more lies. They want to sell you more illusions. Hoping you buy into it. And then that way, they can keep you from reaching your full potential. And these idols, they be so rude and so avoidant, but that's because that's what they had learned. They had learned that being avoidant gives them the results they want. They had learned that being rude gives them the results they want. Because being in that industry is really harsh and soul crushing. And if you're not somebody who's avoidant, able to turn off your emotions, and rude, you will not get where you want to be. So they're a rude, arrogant, mean person. So I've had a lot of experiences with people and celebrities that have been so rude, arrogant, unavailable, so avoidant. And changing your attachment style and your love language and stuff is so hard. It takes a lot of introspection, time, and energy to really work through that trauma and pain. And most of them are just not willing to, because they already got what they want. And will just discredit you as a crazy fan, or discredit you as a bad person, and that is your fault, and that they can't help it, the situations of their life. I enjoy the music, I do, and I enjoy the cute moments, and I think their culture is pretty cool. The language is so nice. But there's a lot of disillusionment and dark side to a lot of it too, that not a lot of people are seeing because it's not presented to them. And that's what I really wanted to bring to light, because I'm seeing a lot of people being single because they want to date Jimin from BTS. I'm seeing a lot of people holding unrealistic expectations for every Asian guy or girl that they meet. I'm seeing people being culture appropriators and only wanting what they want and not thinking about all the rest of the aspects of it. I'm seeing people going to Japan, China, and Korea, and then coming back having terrible experiences. Like, yeah, you're going to. You really didn't know what you were getting into, because it's very live and well. Sexism, prejudice, and racism is very loud and well everywhere in the world, but unapologetically so in Asiatic countries. They will unapologetically pay you different because you are a foreigner. They will unapologetically not take you serious because you're a woman. They will unapologetically not let you stay in a hotel or sit in certain rooms with people because you're a foreigner. They will unapologetically not give you benefits that should be for everybody just because you're a foreigner. And then also there's this other thing that I don't like, but they seem to think it's a team building exercise, is when the seniors and your boss asks you to go drinking with them. That's not team building, that's trauma. Why would I want to see my boss getting drunk in front of me and then asking me to do things that I'm not comfortable with? But then I feel like if I don't, then I'm going to lose the recognition I worked so hard for. I'm going to lose my job. I'm going to become, the grunt of the company, and now I got to run coffees. Now I got to print this. Now I get all the shitty jobs. So then that means that I have to deal with the abuse of the seniors using their position and their power over me, just so that way I can keep a little bit of what I have. Not a team building exercise. It's traumatic. Thanks, I'm good. Like, nah. See, here where I live, being an American, you can't force that on somebody. You can force that in Korea. They can do that to you. They really can. And they do this to you in China too, and in Japan. They really will. But here in America, you can't force somebody to do that. Your boss can't force you to go drinking. That's inappropriate here. Your boss can't force you to do things that you don't want to do. Yes, they can tell you're insubordinate and get your job taken away, but if it's wrongful termination, it's wrongful termination. You cannot lure your fucking damn title over my head and think you're gonna get what you want out of me. That's wrong. And I can get you in trouble for that. That's an abuse of your power. You're not supposed to abuse your power. You're not supposed to pay me differently than other people just because I might be black and this person might be white. That's discrimination, and that's favoritism. That's not how it works here. You're not going to be like these Korean families and these Chinese families and Japanese families who literally have some type of influence and money and they can get away with everything. The U.S. government don't give a damn. They don't give a damn. They don't give a damn if you the Kardashians. They don't give a damn if you Trump. You did the time, you did the crime, so you're going to do the time. They don't give a damn. The evidence says you did it. You have no alibi. And we triple checked the evidence. We did our due diligence to make sure it was you. It is you going away. Period. You ain't gonna pull no, well, my dad is the president of this school, or, but I gave to the school so much. You know, I'm just so wealthy and, you know, so influential. They don't give a damn. And you're going to jail. You're going to get impeached. And you're going to jail. You're going to get impeached and you're going to go to jail. And whatever type of immunity that you think you have is literally for that thing. Literally for that thing. Whatever type of immunity, diplomatic immunity that you think you have is for that thing. Okay, you got diplomatic immunity from going to jail from selling drugs. It doesn't mean you have diplomatic immunity for the R word or for terrorism. They can't catch your ass on that, but they'll catch your ass on this. And in the contract, you know, in the contract, it doesn't, you know, state that you don't have to be going to 50 million trips to Africa and then back home. And it doesn't state that, you know, you have to have your social media clear of anything that could be negative and shit. And they can't do nothing about it. No, I do not want to, boss, to go 50 trips to Africa and back home. That would affect my work-life balance. And then they're going to have to find somebody else. But if it does state that in the contract, and you make sure that you read it and understand it, then you do have to do that. And you not doing that is you not fulfilling the obligation and duties of your job. So I'd be like, listen, read your damn contracts to people. Read your contracts. Understand your contracts. Go to a trusted attorney, lawyer, even that friend who's in law school. Research it yourself. Do your due diligence. No one, no matter in the world can force you to be a part of something. You only got 6 months to see if you're gonna sign this contract. Okay, and it doesn't matter. I am equipped to do this job. I have requirements, and I have the ability to do this job. If this job is not working for me, the next one will. You're not gonna try to use a scare tactic to try to get me to sign this contract. I'm gonna take time to read it through and see if this is really what I want. And maybe having these motherfuckers locked in for time. I'm telling you, like 3 years is if they see, you know, a little bit potential in you. But 7 to 13 years is the most common one. Do you know how crazy it is to lose yourself and to literally be somebody else's cash cow for 7 to 13 years? And a lot of people, most of the time, end up losing the zest for the passion that they have to even begin with during that time. And when their dream ends up being a nightmare. And then they end up not wanting to be there, or they have to because they're obligated. And it really is draining. It's draining on their soul. It's draining on who they are as a person. It's draining on your self-concept. And then once you get out of it, you really gotta take some time to really rebuild yourself to who you were before this shit all happened. And it's so true. It really is. And it's hard for you to find a job other than what you were doing, because you spent all that time on one thing. And in Korea, particularly, it's really hard to find a job if you have not completed high school. It really is. Here in America, like a degree and stuff like that is really sought after, but you can still find a way to make a living. But it's nearly impossible. In Korea and in Japan, but mostly in Korea, to find a job if you have not completed your high school because you dropped out to be an idol. It's super hard. You have no other skills. So what are you now? A person who works at a gas station? But it's not all bad, because sometimes that door closes but another one opens. Like Cole from Sweet Life of Zack and Cody. He runs a brewery. The one guy who had the Gangster's Life song, he had a very successful cooking career and had a show and everything. Like, one door closes and another opens. And, you know, Akon is a fucking multi-billionaire. Has his own currency. Missy Elliott, she's still in the industry, but she's not as active. But she easily is bringing in at least $1 million a month. And she can focus on any passion project she wants. When she had such a crazy beginning, where her dad, being a terrible abusive man, he was, and all the trials and tribulations she had to go through, especially trying to break through an industry that she was in at the time she was in. And Ludacris, come on. Like, and people like Wonho, I love this man. He is so amazing. He literally never changed up. He's just an amazing man he's always been. But he was worried after leaving Monster X that he was not going to be able to have a successful solo career. But he has been. And that makes sense. Because when you leave a group, a lot of people feel like you're betraying that group. A lot of people feel like you were so selfish. And then they don't want to support you. So then they don't. They look at you like you're a bad person. When you left because you wanted better for yourself. And you weren't getting your potential met there. Be a successful solo career. And I fucks with him heavy. I've been fucking with him. It's very, very true. It's very, very true. I just wanted to talk about the disillusionment and the illusions and the facade, the movie magic that be happening and the K-pop community and with Asian people in general. And about how people don't understand how lucky they are to be unattractive. People don't understand how lucky they are to not have a very eventful life like these K-pop idols. They don't seem to understand that the quietness and the dullness of their life is a blessing. Like, you don't got people waiting for you at your house. Like, these K-pop idols literally be having people camping out outside their house. And they literally have people literally breaking into their homes to steal their underwear or a phone or whatever to get their schedules. And that way they can start stalking. They can keep stalking them, or to get their contacts. They literally got people impersonating them. So that way they can trick people into giving them money or opportunities. And then it come back on them when they had nothing to do with it. They literally got people out here wholly trying to make whole ass relationships with them just because they said hi to somebody and took a picture with them. They got whole ass people literally stalking them. Stalking them. They even sometimes got people using their name and their image to bring in money to their business. Or to gain popularity or fame. They never can know who is a true friend and who is an enemy. And people, when you are attractive and a celebrity, are entitled to your life, to your body, to your status, to your money. They really feel entitled to it. And they're not willing to look past it to who you are as a person. I'm just saying, y'all don't be understanding how lucky you guys are. You don't understand how lucky you are not to be conventionally attractive. You don't understand how lucky you are not to be a celebrity. And not to have thousands of millions of people finding over you and doing anything and everything to get your attention. Because when that happens too often, you're making these people feel like they're a whole god. And then they have an imbalance in their ego. Like I said, then they become very arrogant. They become very rude. Become very unemotional, unavailable, avoidant, and distant. Because they're just so used to people doing whatever they want them to. Okay, cool. You get people to do whatever you want. Cool, you get drinks. Cool, people hit on you all the time. And what is that going to do for your soul's growth? What is it going to do for you as a person? It's external, and you know this. And when the doors close, and they're by themselves, they really got to sit with themselves. But it's hard to, because they've been for so long fueled by people and external sources that they don't know how to give to themselves. They don't know how to sit with themselves. And they get so lonely. And they feel so discontented. And so unhappy. Even though they're supposed to be so happy because they got everything that they're supposed to have in the world. And they can't tell people that. Because people are going to be like, but you have everything. You got money, and you got fans, and you got fame, and so you feel like you have to keep it to yourself. Okay. That's all that I got for you guys. See you later, secret fans.